literally took an opportunity, and he sent me this chapter of what y'all be going through. I said we ain't gonna make it to Josh McDaniels, so I put stars by. I felt like the points that y'all would make about the important stuff.
Y'all hear this chat? We gonna make it through. So look, welcome back to the podcast Final Possession. I'm your main host. Well, we got a couple of them. So you got Darius on my top, right above me. You got Zoo to my right of me, and then above him we got a special guest. He go by EB, aka 0-9 in the league, aka Eric.
Send the trophy, man.
Welcome to the podcast. And you know, we gonna let you start it off. We gonna let you say whatever you want to get off your chest.
Please introduce yourself, brother.
First of all, Eric Brown, he's so crazy, comedian on social media. This Final Possession is a solid look for in viewing. Went to school with all three of these guys, amazing young men. Even though they're short, I don't know what Zoo's going on with this wig. We're gonna talk about this offline. I'm a major Titans fan. I am a big Indiana Pacers fan. I don't think we're covering NBA today, but I love to talk sports, and I love to go toe to toe. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what I appreciate being on here, and I'm ready to enjoy this vibe.
Got you. That's all you need to get off your chest to start off. You don't want to talk about your Titans or anything like that.
But we can talk about Titans. You know, Titans. I'm actually very pleased with what's going on in Nashville. You talk about a rookie quarterback that came that played the last 2 weeks. He did what we thought he would do. Looked like a rookie against the Texans. We played the Chiefs. Nobody expected us to be in that dogfight. Honestly, another field goal, I'm thinking we win the game because it changes the dynamics of the game. But you know, anytime you play in Pat Mahomes, you cannot think you're gonna win with 17 points. But I'm excited with what we're doing. I think Mike Vrabel, being the head coach, I've been telling everybody this, all my Tennessee Titan fans, you can't give a head coach chicken shit and think he gonna make chicken salad out of it. It just ain't gonna happen. He hadn't had a dynamic. AJ Brown, you let him go and you go and get a rookie. This dude been dealing with off the field, just stupidity in the offseason, not coming in the shape. He been dealing with a lot. So to be where we are, I'm excited. We got the Broncos next. I think it's gonna be a dogfight, but we'll win in the fourth quarter. So I think we'll win that. We'll win that. Russell, they have too many offensive issues, and they got too much going on. So I'm excited where we are, and I think we'll be fine.
But you say y'all gonna win with what offense though, bro? Denver got a top 5 offense. Explain to us how you expect Tennessee to score.
Defense, top 5 defense.
I think
Top 5 defense.
I think the Tennessee Titans have a top 10 defense, top 5 rushing defense. Henry's already shown he's unstoppable. He's leading the league in rushing. When you get Tannehill back, he's the best quarterback in play action.
Okay. Can I stop you there?
Go ahead and go sleep.
Yeah. You say Derrick Henry is leading the league in rushing.
Can you come in my room? Yes. Say it again?
You said Derrick Henry is leading the league in rushing, right?
Yes, he's leading as of I think he's beating
Chubb
and Saquon Barkley.
Chubb had a bye.
Right.
Chubb had a bye, but we had a bye too. So
right. Chubb, Right. Okay, can you spur off like the Tennessee teams that they played against?
Teams that we've played against. What's your question?
Your last 5 games. Run up your last 5
games. Right.
Chiefs,
Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts. Go back and look at that Colts team that was number 1 in rushing when we played them. Their defense was number 1 in stopping the rush when we played them. We played them twice, right? Those two, Chiefs, Texans, on that 4-game winning streak, the 15 that's out. Who I'm missing?
trying to think. But y'all
John.
was
The
in there, right?
Commanders.
The Commanders.
The Commanders, and let's not. Hey, listen. As bad as they are, their defensive line and that pass rush is legit. They don't even have your boy from Ohio State,
Chase
defensive
Young.
end.
Chase Young.
They don't even have him, but Payne and Sweat alone.
Allen.
And then I'm gonna take you there. Since you keep stopping me, let me tell you about this. The Titans' offensive line, our best. I don't think he was, because I think he was a fake tough guy. But our best tackle is injured for the season, and we got almost 3 rookies starting on the offensive line.
Hey, unfortunately, you don't have any sympathy with me with injuries on the team. Honestly, like, better off telling Josh and Zoo, injuries. You still gotta go play, right? So let me go. I'm gonna go back to my point that I was trying to make, right?
Snap.
The Titans have played 2 teams over 500, right? That was Buffalo and Kansas City. Derrick Henry was ineffective versus Buffalo. Right? Kansas City game, he had 17 carries, 115 yards. Very impressive. But I'm not going to sit here and try to act like Kansas City defense is just what they talk about. No, Kansas City defense.
No, it's not. But with that weak offensive line that we have, and they also have 2 D linemen that are probably top 10 D linemen in the game. Chris Jones is a monster.
Okay, that's one.
If Aaron Donald was not in the NFL, Chris Jones is probably the best D lineman.
No, it's not. It's Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons? Not y'all?
Jeffrey Simmons. Chris Jones and Jeffrey Simmons. They're both double teamers.
Okay, but you said 2 top 10 D linemen. Please give me the second.
The guy that didn't play against us, and he was suspended.
Tell my friend Clark?
Yeah, he's a monster.
He is not no top 10 D lineman. By no stretch of the imagination.
That's
bro.
a reach. That's a reach.
He can easily be.
He might
He
go
can
down.
easily be what?
He might go
easily
down
top
as a
10.
he might go down as a bad free agent signing, fam. No cap.
No, bro.
Based off what he was expected to do and what he's done, just saying. And not saying injuries didn't play a part in it. I'm just saying overall production.
Man, look, he could easily be a top 10, but with the Titans offensive line, really
Give you credit.
who you put out there.
I give you credit on that.
But
He don't
here's
matter who you
the
put out
thing.
there.
This is my question though. What team have y'all played in the last 8 games that stacks up versus them defensively?
His name, the Washington Commanders D line is bro. I don't think you understanding, bro. What do we do? We run the ball.
Say one
Man,
thing. I'll say one thing to that though. The Broncos defense ain't good at stopping the run. They're great in defending the pass. So
But their defense is stingy.
Defensive yards.
in total defense, and it's mainly because
But here's
the
the
pass
thing,
does
though.
not. Go
They
ahead.
throw the ball, so they don't have to worry about stopping the pass. So what you think they fit to do? They got 2 corners that can play man to man.
Yeah, and we got 2 janitors at receiver, and we still gonna run the ball.
I still give an edge. On 20. I take 22 against Denver defense. Not saying it's gonna give I don't think it's gonna give him a win, but I think he still have a good day.
I didn't think that he would do what he did against the Commanders or the Colts, because I knew the D-line they had. The Broncos defense is stingy. They're gonna give it to him 20 to 25 times, and really he should have got it 25 times with Malik at quarterback. I don't understand why he didn't.
That's another question. Who's starting at quarterback? Who's supposed to be starting?
Don't know, and I don't understand why you trying to keep the secret, because both of them trash. What do you know? But now,
I mean, at least one of them are a rookie, so.
Yeah, at least one got an excuse.
But I don't understand why you're trying to keep it a secret. But I will say this: I'm actually confident that whoever's starting, we win the game against the Broncos. I do not see Russell Wilson and them generating enough offense.
So what's the downfall if y'all don't win the game?
They can't score, bro.
I mean,
I'm speaking in his eyes. We probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm saying, if y'all lose the game, will it be because Russell and them just outscored y'all, or would you say y'all offense just didn't do enough to win?
And Denver got to get explosive offensively. we're not a 30-point scoring team. We are a literally inch by inch football team. Physical, run the ball, play nasty defense. Every now and then, you know what I'm saying, play action deep ball, but we don't have that guy now. So we're literally about to give the ball to Henry or Hilliard.
And can I also add, I'm gonna say this, bro. Like, I feel like the Tennessee Titans are slightly overrated. You said you're a nasty defense. Best offense, maybe. No, I mean, the Bills put up 41 points. The Raiders scored 22. They should have scored more, but the Raiders are just worse than y'all, right? So then Waller dropped 4 touchdowns. Literally.
He dropped 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's why I traded his ass.
I'm gonna go back to the Buffalo Bills and these Titans. I'm gonna go to the Buffalo Bills because we've had a number, right?
Hey, bro, I don't want to hear about 2 years ago, bro. I was in jail.
No.
What?
This matters. This matters.
Bro, what?
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm listening.
We beat them last year about Josh Allen say he slipped. They say Jeffrey Simmons stuffed him. We beat them. The year before that, we beat them by 30 on a Tuesday night. It was like the first NFL game on a Tuesday night. Y'all remember? Like 45 to like 13 or something like that. And I don't think the last time they beat us, Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback. They beat us 14-6.
Yeah, also on those past 2 Titans teams, y'all had A.J. Brown, but...
Right. You're right.
And Corey Davis the year before that, right?
Yeah.
One of those
Yeah.
things.
But they owed us. Now, this don't just justify a loss. But they've been looking forward to this game on Monday night. They really wanted us in Buffalo on Monday night.
I really thought they was going to beat y'all ass either way it went, but, I mean,
they're a good football team, but...
Darius hate them,
No,
but...
they're not.
That's all.
No, they're not. They're not a good football team.
They're a good football team, bro. They're a good football team, but you said the Titans are overrated. I guarantee you're going to see the Titans be top 3, top 4 going to the playoffs in the AFC Conference.
Oh, you
just
bold.
because of Mike.
Okay, if it's not the Titans gonna win the AFC South, who's gonna win it?
That's true.
Well,
So
it's not about.
Of course, y'all gonna be top 4. Y'all gonna win the division by default.
I'm not even saying that, man. I'm thinking a repeat of possibly a bye. I think.
Nah, I need you to put the drugs down, bro. Y'all, listen.
No.
A bye?
There's no dynamic.
A bye?
I'm gonna tell y'all.
Nah.
Mike Vrabel.
I don't
Bro,
give a
there's
fuck.
no dynamic.
Can I?
This team that'll say y'all gonna be the number 1 seed. None. Like 0. Like y'all only offense is Derrick Henry, bro. And he's gonna get tired by week 14. His legs gonna become noodles, bro.
He gonna get tired. Is he gonna get tired or defense gonna get tired of hitting?
Nah,
Coming
man.
up.
Okay, E. If you believe what you believe, fam, you're saying right now, who you automatically put in front of you for the first 3? You said you're gonna be top 4.
No, he said a bye.
That man said bye.
If Buffalo and the Titans tie, the Buffalo get the tiebreaker. If Chiefs and the Titans tie,
So
they get the tiebreaker.
you better than, but you saying by the end of the year, you think y'all will be better than Buffalo, New York, Miami,
New York's in the NFC. New York
No,
Jets.
New York Jets. Yes, I'm talking about everybody AFC on name it. So think about AFC when I'm saying these cities. We're talking about Buffalo, New York, Miami, Baltimore. Shoot, I don't even know if y'all better than Cleveland. Cincinnati.
No, they're not better than Cleveland.
Who is it I'm thinking about on the West?
Chargers.
Oh, Chiefs, Chargers.
Oh,
Like,
wait,
yeah,
y'all got the
I
Raiders.
reserved
Everybody beat the Raiders, so...
I reserve Denver. I'm just asking.
You didn't name. I'm not the Titans over the Jets. Right now, the Titans play the Jets this week.
They would drag them.
They would.
The Titans would probably. Bro, y'all realize Wilson just threw 3 interceptions a week and a half ago, right?
Oh, we
But
can
he's
have
been
it, though.
terrible season, but that's not why they still find a way to win, bro.
They winning with it's in spite of is the great part.
Y'all realize Titans do the same thing. We find a way to win, and we got injuries.
But they beat the more quality teams, bro. Everybody's beating the Commanders. Everybody's beating the Texans, bro. Everybody's beating the Colts.
Jets beat the Browns by 1 point.
Everybody's beating the Raiders.
They just beat the Bills by how much?
3.
In a-
So, bro, the next 3 games for the Titans: Broncos,
hostile environment.
Broncos, Packers, Cincinnati, Eagles. All got good run defenses, bro. All got good defenses.
You said the next games for who?
The Titans.
Name them
Broncos,
again.
Packers, Bengals, and Eagles.
We gonna play the Panthers.
He said
Packers.
Eagles, Packers.
We're gonna beat. Well, we should go on.
I believe y'all can beat Green Bay. I believe y'all can beat Green Bay. Sadly,
on Thursday night.
That's a Thursday night game.
Thursday night.
Yeah, Packers game Thursday night game.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll beat the Broncos Sunday, and we'll be 7-3. The reason why I said what I said was before mighty midget up here interrupted me. Let me tell you, the division that the Chiefs are in. They did this last year. Had a couple losses down the stretch. The reason why we got number one is because they lost a couple games down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that Miami are going to win out like everybody think they are. One ball to go around. Somebody's going to eventually take away Tyreek Hill, who we're going to get to that. Should be Offensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we named? Cleveland. A big fan I am, Deshaun Watson, don't even think he's going to come right in 3 weeks and make a major difference because of how he looked in the preseason. I know he's sluggish. It is what it is.
But look, though, he got a tune-up game versus the Texans.
The Baltimore Ravens, to be honest with you, is a team that I'd be a little worried about because of who they added defensively. Buffalo, I'm worried, but I'm not because I feel like even the Patriots are really gonna surprise y'all and come back in this division because y'all writing them off. Bill Belichick's been a mastermind when it comes to this.
He ain't beat the Bills in a year.
Say what?
He ain't beat the Bills in a year.
He's 5-4 right now, and let's just be honest. He got a good defense. His quarterback situation is ass.
And that's gonna be the killer. He go against a good offense, they gonna score.
But no. He beat the Bills last year. Remember, he beat the Bills last year.
He
ran the ball. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, yes, he did. He ran the ball like
first
40
game.
times.
First game.
Mac Jones threw probably
3 times. It was 3 times.
It was the first game they played, huh? In Buffalo.
Yeah, and it was embarrassing. It was the most embarrassing loss Josh Allen ever had because he just ran the ball down his throat. That's the head coach who said, you know what, this is what we're going to do. You and you.
Yeah, that shit didn't work the next 2 times, but yeah.
It did.
Can we go back to like this Titan thing that you swear y'all gonna finish? Okay, so I said y'all Buffalo has the quarterback, they have the receivers, they got a decent defense, right? Kansas City.
Actually, I'm concerned with their safety. They got safety issues. Michael Hyde and
Jordan Poyer both out.
They are dealing with injuries.
But they play well enough to get by, right?
They got
Kansas City.
Kevin Hamilton back there. They good.
We know what Kansas City is, right? Baltimore is probably the hottest team in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Right, and it's probably gonna stay that way for a while. Cincinnati. They're dealing with some injuries, but they're gonna get some players back. Miami is probably the second hottest team in the NFL right now. But they're gonna have to figure out defensively. But they can outscore.
Seattle's second hottest team in the NFL. But okay.
That's probably true. But Miami can score with anybody, right?
Anybody.
I don't see y'all stopping Miami too many times, bro. I don't think y'all gonna outscore Miami.
See, that's not our game though. Like our game is keep away, time of possession. You see what I'm getting at? Like
But here's the thing though, bro. Here's the thing. You gotta play defense well enough to keep playing keep away. That's what I'm telling you.
You don't think our defense is good enough?
No, I don't.
I respect your opinion.
I don't.
But you just saw what our defense did on national television with the Chiefs. With the
you
safety
can't really
out of the game.
You can't convince me with the Chiefs. I've been saying the Chiefs been median average at best all year.
They beat y'all.
By who fault? They beat us by a mistake we made. And we had them to 20 points.
Did y'all have Keenan Allen when y'all played them?
No, we did not, sir.
No.
And Mike Williams though, right?
Yeah, and he had 100 yards.
Okay. So we had a starting receiver out, 2 starting linemen, and a quarterback out, and lost by 3.
What you want me to get you a boat? I don't have no boat for your tears, man.
Y'all had a receiver out.
We had more than that out, but yeah.
Look, man.
But look
So
though,
with the
that's
Titans,
still not my point. That's still not my point, bro. So the Chargers, they getting players back. Like, where do y'all think y'all stack up when you look at rosters and you look at these teams rosters that you swear you better than?
you
Where do you think
It
y'all
is,
stack up versus
Will.
these rosters?
What there is. If you look at the roster, man, of course we're not a top 10 football team.
Yeah, I ain't
That's
top 20.
of course. If you look at roster, if you're comparing off rosters, I mean
Well,
the Jets.
when it gets December, bro, you're gonna need these rosters that you're trying to downplay. Like, these players gonna have to start making plays, bro.
No,
You
I
gonna
think
start.
I think what you need is to buy into your coach philosophy. I think you need your big time players to perform. I think you need your leaders to perform. I think you need your coaches to be on A game when they coaching. A lot of times somebody like let me see, Jalen Ramsey. People say he quit on his team the other day.
Saying what he
Arguably the
said.
best corner in football. Huh?
Because he said what he said.
Well, he had back injuries. And,
Okay,
he
yeah, you
said
talking?
he
Yeah,
had
I
back-
got you. Jags.
But my thing is, I'd rather have a bunch of hard nosed, nasty guys who are buying in to a physical, system.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
I'll be the first person to tell you, of course, when you compare rosters. You juxtapose rosters with every team in the NFL. Titans probably land around top 25, something like that. The Jets roster is nasty when it comes to solid talent, like pure talent. Jets, Miami, like San Francisco, Denver
so
even got talent.
All right, so let me ask you a couple questions. So when the game, games get real intense in December. Would you agree?
It's gonna get more intense, and it's gonna get colder. And nobody gonna want to hit that number 22. But go ahead.
Don't jump ahead of me. So when these teams, would you agree that, like, these teams start relying on these playmakers more? It's no longer let's get everybody involved. It's more like, let's get Tyreek Hill the ball. Let's get Jamar Chase the ball. Let's get Keenan Allen. Let's get Lamar Jackson in the open field. Like, this, all these things, right?
Okay.
If the opposing team get to stopping these players, guess what Cincinnati can do? They can call on Joe Mixon. They can call on T. Higgins. Guess what the Chargers can do? They can call on Mike Williams. They can call on Austin Eckler. Guess what the Dolphins can do? They can call on Jaden Watt. They can call on Raheem Mostert. What the fuck can the Titans do?
Man, they can call on the 12th man, which is all them damn fans in the stadium. But I'm gonna tell you this.
Listen to me.
I'm gonna tell you this. You're right.
Listen to me.
You're right. But other teams are also gonna change how they scheme. But I'm gonna tell you this though. You are so right, and that's the reason why the Titans are never really mentioned on social media. That's the reason why the Titans, because you're right, we don't have that next guy. But man, I don't know how the hell we got a bye last year, and even AJ Brown was there, but there was games he didn't play. You know what I'm saying? There was games where they double teamed and they shut Henry down, and Henry didn't play the whole season.
But even with the double team, you still got the threat. They're still taking 2 men to 1, so you still got 3 other men to account for. It's easier to play offense when you double team or something.
Yeah, Julio too. He ain't play that much.
Julio was robbing the Titans without a mask.
Julio was me sitting out here.
I'm just letting you know.
But the Titans don't have that personnel. They don't have that personnel, bro.
Right.
Mike Vrabel is trying to bring a Bill Belichick type of philosophy to Nashville. And like I said, I'm with you. We don't have that personnel, but I'm in though, because I see this team still going far.
I feel like this. I'll give you buy-in for placement in terms of, obviously they're probably gonna win the division, and that's the saving grace, depending on how people go into the playoffs, health wise, and who's doing what. But when we get to playoffs, I think that's when we're gonna revisit this whole little debacle of the players matter.
I guarantee you when the playoffs start, to get off the Titans, when the playoffs start, I guarantee you y'all gonna be talking about the Titans in final position.
All right, no, I won't. So look, let's go on to this. How y'all think Justin Fields playing this year? Well, let's just say this year.
I'm just gonna say this: when you finally cater to what a player does, like this is where I think people get confused of how much what coaching really is, right? Like, you hear now, just talk about it now more so because there's a different athlete at quarterback, right? Now, coaches can't just throw a dude in there and think he's gonna go out here and run this spread offense, and he's got to break down the defense, and because the league's still catching up to that anyway, right? And defenses are still faster than what they see in college. But when you got a guy, who can, if nothing else, use your legs. If you don't use anybody as a blueprint, Lamar Jackson should be that. Cater to what he does well first, so he can adapt to speed. He can use what he knows best, and then slowly integrate what you want in your offense, bro. If you want to get a receiver in, also one-on-ones, find a way to match him up on a rollout. Then when you add people to him, obviously we see with every quarterback, Josh Allen, Tua, everything else, you put a playmaker with him that also helps him develop, because now he's got a guy if his skill ain't working and or if the scheme ain't working, throw it up to this dude because he's going to win that 50-50, 70-40, whatever you want to call it. I think, so overall, Justin Fields is playing better. I guess you can't really rank him until the end of the year, right? He's hot right now, though, because they're using his legs. They're letting him throw it deep sometimes here and there. And then worst case scenario, take off my guy. Coaching is starting to catch up to the player instead of the player catching up to coaching. That's what I would say.
I think Chicago got a bright future, offense and defensively. They got a lot of young guys on defense. Probably Eddie Jackson's probably the oldest guy, right?
I think so.
He's a young guy, so there's a lot of. I think right now, Chicago's front office should be focused on fixing the trenches. I think that's where the issue lies right now. I think Justin Fields has proven that he's more than capable. It wouldn't hurt, though, to go get him that one extra player, which they probably do in the draft, because Quentin Johnson is probably be a guy they probably target in the top 10. But I think they're trending in the right direction when it's times of competing. And I love the step that Justin Fields has taken. You can see the growth, not only from compared to last year, you can see the growth as the season goes on, right? So he's starting to get the playmakers involved. It seems like Chase Claypool has brought a different dynamic to the players around him, right? So they're starting to feature Cole Kmet more. They're starting to get Darnell Mooney the ball. And they played formidable opponents, and they was able to score some points. So I think once they fix the trenches, I think Chicago is going to be near the returning phases of what they were years ago.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I think they got in this year's draft coming up, they have the most draft picks in this year's draft, and as well as
in the first 2 rounds. They got 10 picks in the first 2 rounds.
They got 10?
10 picks in the first 2 rounds.
And they got the most cap.
So
yep. They got 100 million in cap space. That's crazy.
They can do a lot.
E, you got anything?
Yeah, I'm excited for Justin Fields. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I actually think he's the fastest quarterback. When I seen him do that straight away and break that tackle against last week against Miami, I was like, good God. And then he did it versus the Patriots too. I think they got to use him right. I just feel like, these young quarterbacks going to these systems and the coaching staff, some games don't know how to use them, don't know how to get the jitters out, get that nervousness out of their system. You gotta throw a quick pass or play, roll these guys out, start trying to make these quarterbacks pocket passers.
Because everybody's not Justin Herbert.
You just had to. You just had to.
It's true.
You just and I think that's also one thing that's helping him too, though. Hurts, he got a solid. That head coach know what he's doing, but I think that Justin Fields dealt with that earlier in the season. Them not calling the right plays, the right time. When you're on a 1 yard line, you know what I'm saying. It's certain things you gotta run the ball, quick draw, unless you, a veteran quarterback who gonna either throw it out of bounds, back shoulder stuff like that. Your quick flare routes. But somebody like Jay Fields and these other younger quarterbacks, run the ball, man. You don't run no damn running back draw. Anybody pausing, is somebody coming in the end zone to get you a safety. I think sometimes we think just because these guys are coaches in the NFL, we think they are masterminds, we think they are elite, and that's not true. And I think some of them, we'll see down the line, what we're dealing with. But I really, he got a bright future. I'm with you, Darius. I want to see, like, what I'm saying, that roll out, get my man, get his head right. Don't set him up for failure. That's the main thing.
Biggest thing. So you're hurting yourself more than anything.
Got you. Next topic. I definitely believe they should open up the playbook a little bit more for Fields. let him use his athleticism more than they have been letting him use it the past 2 years. Um, you know, it's the quarterbacks are more athletic now, so and it's difficult to cover him because he's that extra playmaker. So on to Lamar. Who y'all believe gonna pay Lamar? Y'all think it's gonna be Baltimore gonna pay him? How much y'all think he's gonna get paid as well? Chad, who y'all believe?
Honestly,
I'm looking at the Colts,
yeah.
Steelers. Even though they got this rookie quarterback, I think that he could stay in the AFC North, but I do believe that the Baltimore Ravens are going to get in the bag. I will say this: I've been real critical of Lamar Jackson.
We do, Wills.
Lamar Jackson, with those receivers, a lot of times, some of the throws that I think that he gonna make, he don't do it. And I think that he hurt his case a little bit with some of those throws. But I think he stay at home with Baltimore. I think they give him the bag after the season. If not, I see Indianapolis who hunting for a quarterback, and they even having quarterback nightmares.
Begging.
I think it's stipulations, honestly, right? So, with the style of offense, and as a disclaimer, I think Lamar Jackson is probably the second best player in the NFL behind Aaron Donald. But is this style of offense? Is this? And I'm asking this question: is this a Super Bowl offense?
Baltimore?
Yes.
Baltimore's? Nah.
No.
I'm asking this question as well. Do you feel like Lamar Jackson sit there and, from what we've seen in the past couple of games, right? Do we believe that when the team, and they've done it, when the team stopped Lamar Jackson from affecting the game with his feet, is it trustworthy for him to sit back in the pocket and throw the ball and pick him apart?
Somewhat.
Right. So we see, yeah, somewhat, right? Yeah, exactly. Right. So I think you get to the point, if the Ravens pay him, he probably won't be the highest paid quarterback. Right. I was kind of against Kyler Murray getting the money that he got. Right. So if the Ravens do decide to pay him, I think a lot of those things, as a GM, right? As a GM, you gotta consider these things, right? You just can't pay a player because what he does in the regular season, right? Is this player gonna take us to the promised land, right? And if he does take us to the promised land, can we win it? And I honestly don't think, like, they are a terrific regular season games team. They're a terrific team in general. I think Harbaugh does a great job, but however, I just think that offense, unless he can get, I don't know if it's just he having an off year, but some of the games we done saw versus Cincinnati, versus the Saints, he missing guys like by themselves, right? And I don't think that's the leverage that the GM has if you make this throw, we win this game, right? Can we trust you? You missed this throw a couple of times, right? And this was the penalty. So I guess, Buffalo, like some of the losses that they have, he had turnover problems, right? So the Ravens, if they don't turn the ball over in these games, they're easily sitting there with one game loss, maybe, right? If not undefeated. So but to answer your question, I really don't know, right? I really don't know because I honestly see it from both sides. But I do think he gets paid. Right. If he's the highest paid quarterback, I don't think he's with Baltimore. But I do think Baltimore paying. But at the very minimum, he does have an argument that Kyler Murray got paid, and I do think he should be paid more than Kyler Murray. I will say.
And Kyler Murray, I'm kind of off on him.
I was gonna say the same. I was gonna bring it up. I'm glad you said it because I was like, if Kyler Murray got paid, then by all means, even shoot. I understand the hype behind him, but Deshaun Watson, he get paid. Dude, listen, Lamar's got leverage on his own because of his accolades on his own, right? But to your point, a GM is looking at, okay, I mean, that's great because maybe if you're not here, who knows if that even happens for you, right? I do think if there's another team on the table, I agree with you. Indy's in the running now. I didn't think that was going to be the case. I was looking at New York, the Giants.
They talking about extending Daniel Jones.
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point,
who's looking better? Who's looking better?
Right. At this
Jason
point
Garrett,
now,
baby.
At this point now, I'm looking at it like, dang, well, Daniel Jones has performed well enough for them to at least give him a shot, maybe. But I just thought about the idea of him and Saquon in New York. Sheesh. But I think if he gets paid, it has to be Baltimore because it's young quarterbacks coming out now that teams are going to definitely shoot for. And I don't know what team is really just either has the money that he's expecting or is dying at the quarterback position enough to be like, yeah, well, we're going to drop the bag and then change everything they got going on, because you can't just automatically think you're taking what he does at Baltimore and it's popping up in your other franchise without changing a lot, depending on what you got outside and weapons wise, because it's different. Because in Baltimore they can do that because they already don't have the weapons. So it's like, hey, we can start with the run. Other teams have a little bit more on the outside they want to use, and you don't know if Lamar limits that or it's just Baltimore's issue of finding a playmaker. So,
and I think those questions are teams gonna be afraid of his arm? How much longer, years wise, can he beat teams with his legs and extend plays? Can he stay healthy?
Thanks.
Those 3 points, with Lamar Jackson, yeah, I wouldn't say second player behind Donald in the NFL. I say, top. I always say like the top 10 athlete, fun to watch. At that quarterback position, man, yeah. People were saying Hollywood didn't trade to the Cardinals. They need a big time receiver. He did get Deshaun Jackson. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see the consistency of him getting those big time guys the ball. Like, if it ain't a tight end,
T-threats,
or fullback getting the first route. Yeah. And people was also, my last thing, people was also talking about Harbaugh and the Ravens offense, of play callers and their playbook, Josh, opening up their playbook for Lamar Jackson. I don't believe that every coach should have a job, but I do believe that these guys are interfering with him every week. They're practicing with him every week. I believe that they're doing what they feel like he does best to go out and win a football game. A lot of fans, Baltimore Ravens fans, oh man, they gotta let the man throw it. Let him sling it. You let him do that, his ass gonna throw more picks. And,
yeah, because he's not Justin Herbert.
We get it.
Here we go again.
So Chad said the wide receiver group is inconsistent with Baltimore, but they do believe that they will pay him. Lamar is in a sticky situation because he's really playing off of a what-if game, sort of, kind of. Because if he stinks the end of this season up,
he could be getting a pension minimum.
I ain't gonna say that, but he ain't gonna get the money you think he gonna get paid.
Oh, but a 3-year, $18-25 million type deal.
Yeah. But just,
I think at that point he better have playing on the franchise tag.
Yep, he probably would.
Kirk Cousins special. A couple of those.
Do y'all
probably one of the richest quarterbacks in the league?
Oh, everything. He been running it up. Do y'all think they need to go out and get an elite receiver? You think that would be a difference in his play?
I think at this point it's come down to like what Eric said and what Darius alluded to earlier, right? It's like, hey, we could have went and got a guy, but because of either what they see in Lamar and what we run, we either wasting the money spending on a guy because he's only going to run 2 routes of the way our offense runs because Lamar can only throw 2 balls, or at this point they've had options, they've had the chance 1,000 times to do it. So it's like,
I got a question though. Like, I'm assuming that they tried. But if y'all are receivers, right? Y'all like these elite guys that everybody referencing that they should get. Would y'all go play for Baltimore?
Well, I think Hollywood said it best, right? What's the use of having soldiers if you can't use
them? The offense is not built for elite receivers, right?
It's not.
I think it's more of that than the elite receiver being a problem. You want me or Lamar Jackson being a problem? I just think it's nothing about their offense that makes you. I mean, he throw it more to the tight end than anybody.
When you see something like that in the room, right?
But that's based off of coaching. They run a lot of read option, and they trying to bring the college scheme in to where he can throw off of it. So who's normally your main target when you running those things besides slants? And we ain't putting no wide receiver on no slant against Patrick Surtain and all these great corners. and then he got to maneuver through the traffic to probably throw it, you know, I feel like your tight end would be the best bet because he can fake a block and get upfield. And everybody's eyes is on Lamar. But, I mean, that elite wide receiver to me is just like, personally, you got to try it. Yeah. You don't know if it unless they say Hollywood wasn't elite.
Like, assuming they tried, though. Let's assume they tried. Like, which I think they have.
With Hollywood? You think it was Hollywood they tried it?
No, I mean, like, tried to get a elite receiver. Okay. Which I think they tried. Like, I just honestly think, like, people look at the offense, like, as a player, right? I think players look at offense like, what do my stats will look like in that offense? Now, I probably shouldn't go there. I probably should go to somewhere like Bengals, or I probably should go somewhere like the Buccaneers, where I know they're going to throw the ball.
Do you think
this game probably going to be 70-30 pass run?
Do you think they should have traded for A.J. Brown and see if that worked instead of letting Philly do it?
Again, I just think it's twofold, bro. So either they like we run, and that's just what we do, or it's because we run,
never had a lead receiver.
We have to. You know what I'm saying? It's either we have to do it this way because this is the best for us with Lamar quarterback, or we just run this because regardless, we think we're better than y'all and you can't stop it. And so
I think they just being hard headed. You know, them hardballs are hard headed.
And so that's just how it goes. I mean, yeah.
Not to be funny or anything, but I truly believe those hardballs are hard headed. But I mean, like,
what it is.
Will said they never tried to get an elite receiver, but Hollywood had 1K last year. And Louis said Baltimore with Allen Robinson might do something. Me personally, I don't see it.
I mean, they didn't. I mean, if he ain't getting released, I'm assuming so. They ain't shoot for that trade.
Allen Robinson defense, bro. I think it's the Rams. I just think the Rams are broke, bro. Like,
I do think so.
It's the Rams. No, I don't. It is the Rams, bro. For their defense to be out there to hold Tom Brady to 13 points, and they only have 10, that's a problem.
I don't even think they had to hold him. I don't even think they had to hold him there. He was gonna give you. That's all he was gonna give you. So
I'm glad you brought it up, right? And Josh, I hope your homeboy listening. Right, when the Rams got to stop and they got the ball back, Sean McVay played there way too conservative, and they fucking lost. Right?
I do believe what they had. I think he should just threw it one time. Let's see it. We beat him deep on a throw.
Won the game like my coach would have did. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you conservative.
Did y'all make the
point? That's what happens. That happened twice. That happened twice yesterday or Sunday.
It did. But, hey, did your team win the championship last year?
What they got to do anything?
The coach on the other side did. So, apparently he know what he doing.
I can't even think the last week, fam.
Of course you can.
Yeah, of course you can. So, look, who y'all got as the MVP, offensive player, and the offensive player of the year? Well, I know who Darius got. I'm pretty sure I know who Zoo got. E, who you got?
Offensive player of the year, I got to go with Tyreek Hill. I mean, he averaged over 120 receiving yards a game. Pat Mahomes MVP. To do what he doing. Pat Mahomes.
What he doing? What's he doing?
He doing the same thing he was doing when he didn't have Tyreek Hill. And that is being lethal when that's being lethal when that's being lethal.
I believe that, Chad.
Need him most.
3 of us believe that.
He's lethal. He's lethal when the team need him most. And I think if I go back into the text,
you love your homeboy, huh?
The options y'all had was Josh Allen, Mahomes, and Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is the MVP.
Jalen Hurts is the MVP.
Jalen Hurts is the MVP.
They undefeated. That's the
today, fam. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Jalen Hurts' defense is really good.
That ain't his problem.
That
ain't his problem.
He scored points. It ain't like he don't score.
He literally.
I think he scored over 20.
I know they're not gonna get Jalen Hurts the MVP at the
But we saying this is our opinion. This is everybody's opinions. We don't make the votes, but
He's not gonna get MVP. It's gonna be
Can I
Pat
go?
Mahomes or
Can I
possibly
please, before you go on your rant, I just think this. He's undefeated for one. So if that goes to the end of the season, there's no excuse to why it directly correlates to his play. He's made not even a stride, but a leap from what everybody had him pegged at the quarterback position this year.
I'm so excited for him.
And and he's throwing, and I think they're averaging like 27 something a game or something like that. They're in that upper 20s echelon of points scored per game. And so,
but is it all him? Him just like
if Tua didn't miss no games, Tua would be the MVP.
I mean, it's the same.
To be 100% honest, if Tua didn't miss 3 games, he would be the MVP.
And
they would still be undefeated.
I don't know about that, but yeah, I get what you're saying, there.
I feel what you got going, but I'm just saying, bro. Like the win, it goes to a winner. He's the winningest in this list right now, and that's these names is from the NFL analysts. So he on there for a reason. And understood, yeah, I think we all agree if Tua played them other 3 games, he'd probably be leading the race because he made a stride. He's been the most disrespected in the offseason, yada yada. So,
okay, but right now my MVP is Pat Mahomes. So we got 9 more games left.
We'll see about it.
All right. Hey, we ain't going off it. Will said QB gets all the good credit and bad credit. AJ Brown's not out there throwing the ball. So
interesting stat.
Oh shit.
So I got Jalen Hurts. Now I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like
us 3 got Jalen Hurts. You good?
If Kansas City was undefeated, niggas would be clamoring for Patrick Mahomes to be. If Buffalo Bills was undefeated, who was very average, like I told y'all they were, they would be clamoring.
Man, so mad every weekend he get on here about them.
And they get Josh Allen their MVP trophy today if they were undefeated. But Jalen Hurts is undefeated. He got 20 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he got a QBR of 110.
Mm-hmm. And he
what do he?
Well, he lead the QBs in rushing too, don't it?
Yes. Why is he rushing? Yeah. He's not. Tua will be second. Patrick Mahomes will be third.
And why can't Josh Allen be third?
I don't care who you put third, right?
Okay.
So Jalen Hurts and Tua right now, this the conversation between MVP. Like this just what it is, right?
It should be.
Tua is leading the quarterback stats.
Okay.
I do think Josh Allen turns the ball over too much for me.
And I agree with you, Tyree. He was offensive player of the year.
We all agree with. I'm pretty sure we all agree with that.
Tua leads all quarterback stats.
Yep.
He got two top 5 receivers in terms of yards. Like
top 3.
How are we even talking about Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen?
They like top 3 now at this point.
Yes.
Let me ask y'all this. I already gave the man his flowers. Say it's great. I'm happy for him. I just didn't think he was my MVP. Who have they played other than the Cowboys and the Vikings?
They don't make that schedule.
They don't make their schedule. They don't make their schedule.
Play NFL teams.
Hold on.
That's like you talking about the Titans earlier. Remember?
Yeah, what you mean? You said they ain't played nobody. We won a 5-game winning streak. We didn't play nobody special. But they played the Vikings in week 2. I think that a lot of y'all
Stomped them. They 7-1.
Yeah. I think that a lot of that's an early game.
They played the Cowboys.
They played the Cowboys 17-26 without their
Who was on the 4-game winning streak?
I mean, they playing.
They was on the 4-game winning streak though.
It's coming soon.
They was at their starting quarter. Ain't nobody on this channel.
It's coming.
No Cooper Rush.
They were hot.
You're right. I don't believe in him.
There's people in the world that picked them.
They beat your quarterback. They beat Joe Burrow without their starting quarterback, so they couldn't beat Jalen Hurts without him.
Okay. Who quarterback?
Your quarterback.
They beat Joe Burrow.
They beat Cincinnati with Cooper Rush.
Week 3. I think they won by like 1 or 2, something like that.
They ain't played nobody, man.
I mean, you can say that, but again, they don't make the schedule. So either you play the games or you don't.
I mean, it's gonna crank up a little. They're gonna play the Giants. The Giants gonna be a 500 team. They're gonna play Dallas again. They're gonna be a 500 team. I think they got like 2. They're gonna have Saints will probably be 500 when they play them.
They play a top 5 team in the AFC in like 3 or 4 weeks too. They play the Titans. So
okay.
Let's see what they do.
All right, they blow your ass out. You definitely coming back.
So December 4th, the Titans and Eagles play at 1:00. Everybody in Nashville fired up against AJ. We ready.
On D4. That's on the fire. Go ahead, bro.
Who y'all defensive player of the year? And then comeback player of the year, and then we gonna go over to college.
Geno Smith is by far the comeback player of the year.
Yeah, Geno or Saquon. I might have to say Saquon.
Nah, but Geno,
man, nobody seen that from Seattle.
So on this paper, I got Geno, but man, I didn't think about Saquon because
if he ain't on the field, they don't win nothing.
I agree. He fun to watch.
So you think if Geno not on the field, they win something?
I'm not. I don't know, but there's DK and there's Tyler Lockett out there. There was.
It was DK and Tyler Lockett out there last year.
Who was surrounding Saquon Barkley? Please tell me.
I mean, they had Sterling to start the year.
And I think
Sterling should average 2 catches a game, fam.
Oh, okay. I mean, you said who? I'm giving you people.
I'm just telling you. I'm just.
Look, all right. I got a question for you. Last year, did Seattle not have DK and Tyler Lockett on the field?
They did.
Okay, there you go.
That's true. I mean, you so right. You were so right. But guess what? And today we talking about this year. A running back is literally walking his team into the playoffs. Probably.
He's doing it by himself. I think he's doing it by like Daniel Jones be getting off. Like I don't know if people want to credit it or not. With the timely throws, he making plays with his feet. Right? You got to think about who he's got to deal with. He got Darius Slade and somebody else, bro. I don't even know who the other 3 people are.
You feel me?
One day Robert. But that's a credit to Daniel Jones. He's not just checking it down to Saquon Barkley the whole game.
Man, I don't know about that.
Look at usage percentage on the offense. Saquon has probably got 85 of that bad boy, no cap. 75 be realistic. 75. That's all I'm saying.
I would feel it's more Brian the Ball coach of the year than it whether it is I guess Saquon comeback player. I mean, not saying that Saquon's not having a good season. He's having an excellent season.
So then maybe it's the same day for Seattle. You know what I'm saying?
What?
It's Coach Pete Carroll must be having a hell of a coaching year.
He is having a hell of a coaching year.
Well, I give
him that coach of the year.
He's having hell of. You gotta think about it. They playing a whole bunch of motherfucking rookies out there on defense. Exactly. They got 2 starting rookie corners.
I ain't saying
and they balling, going
Kobe
crazy.
And Tariq.
They doing their thing. They got 3 actually. The other corners are rookie too now.
So that's what we said. So he is doing a hell of a job in coaching, but bro, Geno out here literally like under pressure, driving downfield in the games. He's keeping them in games. He's doing everything to keep them in the game and win the game.
And I'm not saying Saquon to say that ain't doing nothing. I'm just saying in comparison, if I was telling you what's around Saquon, what's around Geno, and he's a quarterback.
So I got a question right here. So if Daniel Jones looked like he did last year, would Saquon be doing what he's doing this year?
I don't know. Probably not, but I don't know.
Saquon got hurt last year.
Yeah, he did get to roll his ankle.
And I think that's the reason to
playing like QB1.
That's the me and Zoo point. You know, Saquon Barkley has been hurt every year he's been in the league.
No, he hasn't.
All right, but let me ask Zoo and Eric this, right?
Hmm?
On the stack of Bibles, y'all have Seattle sitting at 6-3, leading the NFC West.
No. But did you have the Giants at 6-2? I mean, what's that? What are they 5-3? I'm sorry, they 5-3 right now. I double check it. Don't worry about
5-2, 6-2, 6-2.
Did you have the Giants there either?
But the crazy part about it, they lost to Seattle.
They did lose
in Seattle. They lost, but I mean, look.
Because of Geno.
And Saquon didn't do a damn thing. But here's the thing, though. But all right, so
you asking that question. You want to know why, right? They ain't had no damn.
It doesn't matter why. He didn't do anything. Exactly.
Offense.
So are we just gonna sit here and say like the Giants don't have a good defense or something this year or something? Like
they decent. They decent. Yeah.
They won't let me get there. So we're not gonna sit here. We're not gonna sit here like the Giants didn't turn Baltimore over to win the game to get Saquon that touchdown. We're not gonna sit here and act like the Giants defense didn't.
You act like the team don't matter or something. Like when you act like I'm telling you, Geno Smith is that name.
But we said.
We're not going to sit here and act like the Giants didn't stop the Packers on the 2-yard line on 4th and goal.
That's what
right?
the team's supposed to do is a good team. Yeah.
So what I'm telling you is, so when Geno got a team full of rookies on defense And he got two playmakers, a rookie running back, two rookie tackles, and you telling me that he's not more impressive than Saquon Barkley as the comeback player of the year? That's what y'all telling me?
I'm saying, because to your point, if they on the field, they got to play. It don't matter. You don't hear no excuse about the rookies, none of that. No, they're a football player. They're a football player. Play football. So whatever that is, I'm saying Geno Smith is very much impressive. So I'm not upset with you saying he's your one. All I'm saying is, I believe at his position, barring what he went through, Saquon Barkley just my one. Is he already at 16?
Hey, you talking about barring what Saquon went through? Let's talk about what the fuck Geno went through.
He didn't do shit but not perform. Saquon been hurt.
Who has, bro? He played for the fucking Jets. Every Jets quarterback has been ass. Think about it. He went to the Giants. They were ass.
And look at him now. Shit. He was just on that Giants team, actually. Yeah. So shit.
I heard an analyst say earlier that Geno's doing what he's finally expected to do. I'm happy for him.
If that's the case, Saquon's doing what we finally expected him to do. He was a 4th overall draft pick.
Second.
Yeah.
They went second.
They went 4.
I mean, like I said, you take.
Oh well, either way.
Apples oranges. They're both doing very well, and their teams are better than we thought they are. That they would be. That's all I'm saying. Not discrediting Geno. I'm just saying. I'm looking at Saquon. Geno's balling out. I'm not trying to make it a right or wrong. I'm just saying Saquon is in my conversation for that.
Top 5 running back.
Defensive player of the year.
It might be
Judon. He got almost 12 sacks.
I might say Judon too.
He going crazy.
Who you got, Darius? JC?
No, Michael Parsons.
I ain't mad at that either. Michael's going insane.
Michael is going insane. So let's switch over to college. Let's start off in the hot seat. Darius called it. I give him his flowers. Zulu, he want the dick ride Darius with LSU winning.
What's up with you?
I mean, Darius started the show off with LSU was winning.
How is that me dick riding the man? Because I thought LSU was gonna win too. I said it because of Jaden Daniels.
Because every other week, you think LSU gonna lose, but hey, either way it go.
All right, fam, you got it. You're up.
Either way it go. Let's talk about that game. Y'all think Nick Saban's losing it?
I mean, the standard. They just ain't matching the standard this year. Whatever the standard may be. Bryce Young is the only thing that's consistent.
They ain't got them dogs they used to have. They're a receiver.
At some point, it's gonna catch up with them.
Defense, corners. It ain't.
But here's the thing, right? So Bryce Young is the best player in college football, like period. Right?
Agreed.
You surround him with nothing. Alabama's probably the most overrated team in college football this year. Rightfully so, because they're Alabama. But think about the close games they played, right? They played a close game versus Texas A&M. They shouldn't have been in it, right? They played the close game versus Texas with Hudson Card limping on one leg. When Quinn Ewers got knocked out, they should have been there, right? So they got.
Well, I was expecting them to be in the game with A&M with a backup, but yeah, continue.
Was it 40?
What?
Tennessee put up.
Yes, 52.
They gave up 40 points to Tennessee. 52. They gave up 52 points to Tennessee, right? So at no point did I believe that this team was remotely being a playoff team, let alone I didn't think they was a top 10 team, let alone a playoff team.
They
right?
still top 10
I
now.
think Will Anderson Jr. is probably the most overrated player that's gonna be in the draft, right? Real undisciplined player.
It showed this year.
He lacks the impact for plays. They don't really got that. Henry To'oTo'o is their best player on defense. Mm-hmm. They don't really got that stud up front like they had with Quentin Williams and company before. Then you flip over the offense, you got this one-of-a-kind quarterback, and you got Jamari Gibbs. Everything else. Yep.
He might be the best all-around player in college football.
Your best receiving threat
is your running back.
Your second best receiving threat is your tight end.
Yeah. Low
right?
two.
So I don't really think when you even think, and it's weird to say, and I know it's weird to think about, but when you think about
I might be
TCU,
overacting a little, Lou.
when you think about TCU, when you think about Ohio State, when you think about LSU, who got the playmakers on offense and defense, obviously. When you think about Tennessee, right? I don't think Alabama, outside of Bryce Young, you take Bryce Young away from Alabama, I don't think Alabama stacks up with the rest of those teams.
Yeah, they might have lost every game this season, every big game.
So, so when I said when I said LSU was gonna win, I was so confident for it, is because I realized it, right? So LSU was the better team. They are the better team, right? But Alabama, they beat a lot of teams, um, because of Nick Saban, not because they were better than the other team. Nick Saban just better than the other coach,
Easily.
right? So they beat Mississippi State because Mike Leach is so terrible.
I don't think he got his players yet, but I agree with that semi.
He's been there like 6 years. How long he been there?
This third year.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No, it seemed like
You seem like he's been there a while. This is his third year.
He feel like he been there forever. But either way it go, like Alabama don't really like they should have lost to Texas if we being honest.
They should have.
They should have lost to Texas A&M, but that would have been like an excuse game because they didn't have Bryce Young. But and they lost to LSU, and they probably lose. They probably beat Ole Miss because Jackson Dart probably ain't gonna get the job done. But
Is in Oxford?
yeah.
I might have Ole Miss. Well, no, Ole Miss defense is probably
Jackson
one of the
Dart
worst.
doing their defense is too bad.
One of the worst defense I ever seen fucking play football some years.
Ole Miss got a pair of running backs on them though.
They do.
Dang, boy.
And then again, you had a team like you said that has the players and they hot. They was hot. Like they was coming up. It wasn't like LSU coasting. They lost and then they ready for this game anyway because it's on the same side. It's always a bigger game for them. And they hot. Jaden Daniels been clicking. The defense obviously been showing up, but then offense started getting. He's picking up what he needs to on the offense. He's using his legs. They letting him move around, and Alabama always is terrible with that. So
E.
it just plays them to him.
Yeah.
I just think other teams have recruited better, or they've gotten those guys to come to their program.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot to deal with it too.
I mean, like there's no way Alabama. I don't know if Darius, you remember Coach Roach is over there on that sideline, the linebacker coach from Murray State.
Yes.
Yeah, and the receiver coach. I forgot his name.
Callaway.
But
Where you came
no, he was there when Wall was there. I forgot his name. But man, Coach Roach, we was talking about corners. Their corners have never been like that. Their secondary had never been like this. You know what I mean? So I just believe that there's something happened with other teams. Maybe the portal. What's it called? The
Portal.
Transfer and then the money. You know,
NIL.
Players getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think something happened earlier before the season started where Saban and
Jimbo
was going at it about who was giving these players more money and whatnot. You know, I was like, damn. Even as mediocre as I was in college, I would have got something, you know, just because of how things are going. But these kids are getting paid, and a lot of things are going that way. They're able to feed their family to go play,
especially at a competent program too. And like now, it's at the schools that are just as marketable or have as much favor as Alabama does. Because LSU was one of them.
Let me say this.
Saban probably.
I don't know.
Tell these players I can win without you. They ain't trying to hear that shit. I think they get paid.
I'm pretty sure Darius will agree with this. Well, probably everyone will agree with this. But I think the tide is turning because that's why Nick Saban was fighting so hard for that, the money to not get paid. He can't control them no more. How can you control a player who's telling you, well, how can you control Bryce Young? I'm not saying Bryce Young can't be controlled, but how are you controlling Bryce Young? Bryce Young making $3 million, $4 million.
I mean,
and he know he gonna go, and he going to the league. So, what's your coaching point on that? Do you be like, well, son, I can make sure you don't go to the league, but NFL, scout off talent, potential. So
And
I mean,
with that point, I also think players understand like, shoot, as much as I need you, you need me, my boy. I can go a level down or a smaller school and go crazy. They still gonna find me.
I ain't gonna say not level down, but
No, I'm just saying. But I mean, people do it. It ain't like it's impossible. We done seen it, right? So like, not necessarily a level down.
that's where TJ Finley ass about to be at.
And you can go do that. Sick.
There's you in the dorm room.
All right, bro. Yeah. Look. Dion said that too. NIL deal was a great equalizer. It was. Derry said that as well. B. John sliding the campus in a Lamborghini. Sheesh, Derry, this how y'all doing in Austin? Big game this weekend.
TCU in Texas. That's gonna be crazy, right? So, I mean, as y'all know, TCU got a lot of stakes riding on. Texas would have had they didn't lose to Texas Tech, but whatever. But they got a lot of stakes riding on this game. They actually need this game. If TCU beat Texas on Saturday, you can lock them in the playoffs because there's nobody else.
Well, they will replay somebody.
I didn't mean, I didn't mean like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, this is the challenge, right? So if they get past this, I think that's it. And the way Sonny Dykes has been winning games, I'm not convinced that he will lose it, right? So they end a close game into the fourth quarter. Like, I don't know if TCU likes these type of matchups. I feel like they should be blowing the roofs off teams like Texas Tech, who was playing without Donovan Smith. But they go in and they fight and they claw. They should have beat the crap out of West Virginia, but they go in, they fight and they claw, and they end up coming out on top. And I think they got some wild wins, like come from behind wins. So I really think TCU has battled through it all.
They should have beat the crap out of Kansas State too.
And you know what I mean? And that's one of them games that they came back and won. And I feel like Texas, as much as I try to root for them, I tell Zulu they go into the playoffs every year. They hadn't done it yet, but they got the tendency to fumble away games late, right? Yes. So they was like recently, right? So Texas Tech they was up big. Texas Tech came back and won, right? They was up big 31-3 or 10 or something like that versus Kansas State. The final score was 27-31, and it only ended because Kansas State fumbled, not because Texas stopped them. But Kansas State fumbled the balls, and they was on their way to score again. So I don't really think Texas got the ability. With Sarkisian, I thought he would fix compared to last year. I don't think they really got the ability to hold on to the game.
They lost 3, right?
They
lost 3, right? Texas?
Yeah.
They really should be undefeated.
Yeah, they should be. But it's gonna be an interesting game. Like I'm kind of rooting. I'm actually kind of rooting against TCU because I kind of want to see Oregon in the playoffs, but we'll see.
I think that's what you're gonna get too. I was just about to say that. I think TCU gonna lose to Texas. I think Oregon gonna get a rematch versus Georgia. They're gonna beat Washington and Utah.
I mean, they still got a Pac-12 champ to play.
Got you. I saw LSU. I think they're gonna lose last game of the season to Texas A&M.
Oh, that's a hot pick.
What?
But
that's going.
Look at that. It's like shit.
That's going into Texas. To play.
You think College Station gonna rock them like that?
Jimbo gonna have them boys ready, and they
but
ain't playing.
But LSU got the target on their back now, though.
Yes. Brian Kelly normally has them ready to play. It's Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels getting a bye before Alabama was huge. Because if he would just rolled over there until the following week, they wouldn't have won that game. I don't believe they would have won that game. But going to Oregon. Oregon got Washington this week. And then they got Utah. And then don't forget, they got Oregon State. At Oregon State. And Corvallis.
Nick's playing.
He doing his thing.
And then you know.
This ain't the same quarterback.
Hey, Bo Nick said he had me. Bo Nick said he had me.
And you know who you got to see at the end of the season, right, Darius?
Yeah, that's right.
So they better be ready to score 45 points on us.
That's what's exactly what
they're gonna do.
45.
Well, they probably will score 45 points, but I'm just saying.
Easy.
but they better be ready to stop somebody. I don't think they really played no offense yet, for real. Except UCLA, and UCLA, they play UCLA.
Washington State.
LA?
Yeah, and Washington State.
Washington had 41.
Yeah, no. 41 and 44.
UCLA had 35 or something like that. So it depends on what Bo Nix you getting. Let's say that. If you get the right Bo Nix. But whoever wins the Pac-12 championship out of the one-loss teams will be there. I think the best bets for the two teams to get in will be USC and Oregon. Because USC is going to have to play UCLA, Notre Dame, who's going to be ranked, who's probably ranked now. And then they're going to have to play a champ. It's dog shit.
They talking about outside of TCU, shoot. If between, again, after Ohio State, Michigan play, they said they really feel like it's still UT. They can't really lose their spot, to be honest.
Yeah, you can.
I see you get back in the top four.
As long as they win out, they don't feel like regardless, the team is better than them.
I mean,
it's kind of hard to say it's not though, right? So, because Tennessee lost to Georgia, who was presumably the number one team in the country, and it wasn't like just this big 40-point loss either. So it was competent for the most part. I think Henry Hooker was selling, but
was at the crack pipe.
I think, but if you look at the matchups, I think Tennessee is better than the other three, in my opinion.
So I got two questions. Is the SEC still the most dominant conference?
For sure.
It might be the last year for that, if anything.
It won't be the ACC, but
I ain't saying it was. I'm just saying
it be the last year for that.
I just feel like
Big 12 is turning a little bit.
When you say dominant,
It was a question.
What do you mean? Like, do they get? When you talking about dominant, are they the dominant teams, or they like from top to bottom, or they just get the championships?
It was from chat. I get back to that. And the second question is, if LSU wins out, who are they really gonna put UT in over Georgia? Because I'm gonna take they're gonna put LSU in with the two losses. Hot, beat the number 1 team, beat the number 7 team, they beat the number 8 team.
I mean, if it comes down to that, I think Georgia would get in because they beat UT. That should be the only reason why. If they decide to go throw LSU in there, but if the
why y'all saying over Georgia?
Saying because if LSU wins out, they win the SEC championship. In the SEC championship.
Oh.
Yeah. But even then, yeah, I don't know. They might still say bump it. It was a fluke game. Put Georgia in that bad boy for sure.
Then who's your 4 teams then? Who's your 4 teams if LSU wins the SEC? Pac-12 probably won't be in there. I'm just throw that out there.
Yeah, that's out of there. So
unless TCU loses.
Whoever wins the Big Ten, barring, like I said, TCU's undefeated at TCU. So whoever, Ohio State, Michigan, wherever you want to put it. I would think, because of what you said, I think the same thing. With all that factoring in, I think LSU would get in, and then probably Georgia. So it'd just be 2 SEC teams again. Just depending on how they lose. Like if they go out there, if LSU go out there and blow them out, and they believe Michigan Ohio State game was good enough, and they feel like they're competitive enough, they might throw them in there. But
anybody got any different say so than that?
I just think that for some odd reason, the past 5 years, I've always been saying they've been wanting rematches. They want to see the 2 teams. They want UT and Georgia again.
So let's say this.
I think UT gonna be in that Final Four when it's all said and done.
That's deep. So let's say this. Let's say TCU loses. LSU wins the SEC championship. Michigan loses in the regular season. They beat Ohio State. And Michigan becomes the champ. You put Michigan in there? Or do you put 3 SEC teams in there?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So
you might as well reach for the Pac-12 champ. They got the 1 loss, and again TCU's in there. So then if you
they lost. TCU lost.
Oh, you said TCU lost. Okay, boom.
Michigan lost during the season.
Just do the champs.
Just do the champs.
Don't put Big Ten, because Michigan not gonna drop. Michigan or Ohio State not gonna drop far.
Yep, correct.
Right. So it's gonna be like they're gonna sit at 6, 5, maybe 7, depending on what happens.
Yeah.
But Big Ten championship game, you got to put them back in there.
So yeah, if it goes to water, you just go to champions. Absolutely.
I mean, unless Illinois or somebody win the Big Ten championship game.
I mean, shit, you screwed then, huh?
Yeah.
Then do you put the 3 SEC teams in there, or do you just reach for that one loss?
Nah, I just think at that point you put 3 SEC teams in there, then that's the whole.
Well,
everything's gonna go.
Well, technically, those would be the 3 best teams, right?
No.
You don't believe so?
No.
If Ohio State and Michigan don't win the Big Ten, TCU don't. Yeah. Scenario. More than likely, one of them gonna win.
I don't feel like these other teams, these other conferences, can play with these SEC teams like that. The L's coming from the SEC teams. LSU L's came from who?
Florida State.
Okay, ACC.
And they lost to
right?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Tennessee.
Tennessee loss came from Georgia. Like, y'all.
And then if Georgia lose, Georgia loss will come from.
Harbaugh ain't been able to beat these SEC teams in no big game. Ohio State ain't done it in a long time. Notre Dame, like SEC, they're gonna score. They're gonna be explosive. And I always feel like these other teams do not match up to SEC, and it's proven. Who's won the championships last year?
I'm gonna ask this question again, right? Are we talking about the SEC as a conference? Or are we talking about the two teams?
The top heavy cream, the two.
He said his question was.
I heard dominance. Chat asked me dominant in the conference. It's the SEC. Is the SEC still the most dominant conference? That
as a conference, no, it's not even a discussion. No,
what conference is better than this?
I mean, the Pac-12 technically is right now probably better.
Okay, so right now y'all put the
Pac-12
in the Final Four for playoff and championship. Y'all think the Pac-12 gonna win? Their best team against SEC best team.
I mean, but that's the difference between conference and the best team.
All the way down. We're talking about all the way down. So from your Georgia.
It was conference there. Let's go conference. Yes, conference.
From your Georgia to your Vanderbilt.
No, SEC is not the best conference. No, they got the best. They probably got two or three teams, but they're not the best conference. Pac-12 or the ACC would be the best conference.
For sure, this year, for real.
Probably Pac-12 because they got like 5 ranked teams right now.
Because they got 5 ranked teams. Okay, that's where y'all going. Okay.
But
y'all ain't thinking that none of them 5 teams can win the championship.
I mean, I got 2. I got Oregon can possibly win it.
They got 2. Pac-12 got 2 teams, how? But here's the thing, right?
3 in the top 10. Oregon, USC can give a run, but depends on how they defense play.
Because Georgia will go out there and walk. I mean,
put your spitball guns up.
Georgia best opponent was Tennessee. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? This year?
Correct.
Right, so where USC has to play, come on, man. Like, so of course USC is more prone to lose than Georgia's more prone to lose. Of course Oregon is more prone to lose versus Georgia, right? So I'm only saying Georgia because Tennessee had to go through the trenches, right? They had to go through Alabama, they had to go through LSU, and they had to go through Georgia, which they couldn't beat all 3, and they fucking lost. So when you say Georgia, right, they're not playing these teams back to back. Now they play Alabama, they play LSU, and they play Tennessee. I'm guarantee you they would have lost one of those games. It's just how it works. Right, so nobody's just gonna sweep through the SEC like this. So we don't really know if Georgia's really one of those best teams when they're only gonna play one team out the whole year.
Well, 2, but yes, correct.
2 now, but at the beginning, the year.
Who's the best team?
It would have been 2 either way. SEC championship.
Who's the best team?
Yeah, I mean, at that point it's too late. You know what I'm saying? At that point it's too late. So even if they lose, they probably fuck around and still go.
Yeah, true. Who's the best team in the Pac-12? I'm biased, so I'm biased. You can't ask me.
Oh, you say Oregon right now, Oregon, USC.
Saying Oregon, right?
But here's the thing. That's a question you can't answer.
Right?
That's the first game of the season. You can't judge it off of that.
That's a question you can't even answer it's a question you can't even answer directly because it's 3 teams that can be the best team in the Pac-12.
Correct.
Right? So it's UCLA, it's USC, it's Oregon. When you talk about the SEC, the first team you want to mention is Georgia. See, when you have those, that's why you can't be the dominant conference because you don't have those discussions. When you're the dominant conference, you have that discussion. Like, who better? John might say USC better. Josh might say USC better. I might say Oregon. You might say UCLA. Like, that's a competitive conference. The SEC is not a competitive conference because Georgia's going to roll every year, and you don't have the same 2 teams rolling every year. And one team is going to switch out. So now Alabama's not rolling, LSU's rolling. So it's never just this whole drawn out thing.
So let me
even when you look at
so let me say this.
In terms of conference.
So I know everybody remember
in terms of conference.
I know everybody remember about 5 years ago. I think it was about 5 years ago. Oklahoma played Georgia. Lincoln Riley had the same fucking defense. Georgia defense was elite still. And Lincoln Riley still scored 48 points on him. By me now, Georgia had elite. I'm talking about Roquan was on the team. They had top of elite talent. They out-talented Oklahoma. This year, on offense, who is their elite talent? That you would say, that you would say if we put them up against a USC team right now, who gonna score? USC gonna score 40. That Georgia would be able to score 35 to win.
Who's that elite defender? Like who's that?
It ain't nobody.
Who's that elite defender? Right, Nolan Smith is
Carter. He elite for sure.
No, Jalen Carter super nice.
Tennessee scored 30-something points a game before going into this Georgia game.
But
and I believe I turned it on. It was 21-3.
So look, this is the difference. Josh Heupel is an excellent offensive coordinator. I don't have nothing bad to say about him. It's a difference when you go against the best play caller that analysts, coaches, everybody has said, even NFL coaches have said Lincoln Riley is the best play caller in college football. And some people question why he's not in the league calling the plays, and it's not close. It's not close. And this is what Josh Heupel scoring 45 points a game. No more offense, all that. They say Lincoln Riley's still the best play caller. So now you pairing all these athletes with the best play caller. That's why he's in the game with Georgia and they giving up 60 fucking points still. Because you can't fucking stop them.
And my thing is to simplify it all, right? Like, I think what Darius is saying. Oh, I know what Darius is saying, but
I know what he's saying.
Eric, I get what you're saying. Your top heavy hitters, the SEC, I think everybody agrees when you have whoever the two best SEC teams can rock with the best of any other conference, right? But as conferences as a whole, so we talking about from Georgia to Vanderbilt,
I got what y'all saying.
Yeah.
I got what y'all saying now.
They're even within. I'm saying, but even playing outside competition within themselves, them are games that like I can watch a UCLA in Oregon. I can watch UCLA Utah. I can watch Utah play who else in the Pac-12?
USC. You can watch them play Washington, Oregon State. You can watch. That's it. They all gonna compete. They all gonna compete.
The SEC is like the Big Ten. They two conferences that conferences never are fully holding weight. They just got two teams that you're gonna wait on to see who's gonna fall.
I just want you to realize is the SEC West and East had the same 3 to 4 teams win the conference at least the last 5 years.
Every time.
The West has been Alabama and LSU. The East has been Georgia all the way out, and Florida might have won it 1 year.
And they just be waiting for whoever come to the playoff.
Kyle Trask. And they got killed by Devontae.
I thought they lost.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying they won the East though.
Yeah, but within their conference, because their conference is so weak, within their conference, they just waiting for whoever the outside team is to come in because they don't play anybody within the conference, and it'd be sad to see.
And then also you got to think about these SEC teams. Nick Saban ain't dumb. Kirby Smart ain't dumb. Yeah, I'm gonna play Oregon first game of the season.
I think they would have beat them.
It would have been. They probably would have. You can't say that, but they probably would have. But it'd been a more closer game.
What's Bo Nixon's record against him?
Against who? He probably like 1-3.
At Auburn.
Oh, I think he might be 0-4 or something like that.
He might be 0-4. I don't know. I don't keep up with Bo Nix.
He was at Auburn.
What is that supposed to mean?
But Auburn ain't. Trust me. Auburn ain't been
Auburn
good.
since Cam left.
I ain't gonna say that. Auburn was good when they played LSU, but and
we ain't said nothing about Auburn since Nick. So like, I don't care if it was.
Here's my thing, right? Flatline. I still believe that Tennessee's the best team in the SEC. That's just what it is. I think Tennessee can beat any of those 5. I even like LSU to beat any of those 5. I don't say the same about Georgia. I don't.
Any of those 5.
so look, I'm gonna say this.
I don't think so.
I don't I can see what Darius would say that, but you wouldn't be 100% honest. I think it's only one team in the Pac-12 can actually score over 30 points on Georgia.
And you think that's USC?
Yeah.
USC. And I think they lose the game.
Oregon might. I mean, we can't. I can't really. I don't know what BYU looked like, but they did beat Baylor. I don't know what outside of them. UCLA defense ain't too hot.
Right.
And USC defense, trust me, ain't gonna be too hot either. So, hey, 66-75, baby, let's get it.
But here's, I'm not even Pac-12. I think Ohio State can score 30 on Georgia.
No, I'm just saying in terms of the Pac-12.
Oh yeah, I think TCU.
TCU can score 30 on Georgia. TCU might actually can beat Georgia right now.
They play defense and they got offense for sure.
You remember the year they robbed TCU?
And they went
and then they went go smack Ole Miss. that was their best chance to win it right there. Now they got another chance. They can't jack it up. But the crazy part about it is Gary Patterson out for revenge. And they going to Austin. And he gonna know every player on that team.
It's still gonna be good though.
It's gonna be good. But
nice little athlete on athlete. See how it works. Is Johnson gonna be? Is Johnson back now?
Yeah, should be.
So we'll just see. You have to wait and see.
But we appreciate you. We appreciate you joining the show, man. You got any final words or anything to say?
Man, I'm glad you started to end it because this chair hurt my ass. I don't know how my wife's sitting in it while she's working. But I appreciate y'all for having me on. I enjoyed it. It's a real good talk. Tighten up. Check them out on Sunday. They play at 1 o'clock versus the Denver Broncos. They'll probably win 19-10. And
shit.
Then we're going to beat the Packers on Thursday night. And I'm sure y'all have the best Thursday night football game since the Chiefs and the Chargers.
Fuck no.
So
I'm a vouch for you if y'all do.
I will vouch for it if y'all do.
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna score 19 points versus Denver, bro. It's gonna be like 13-6. Yeah, I'm not gonna score 19 points versus Denver.
Yeah, we might score more than that, especially if we get Tannehill back.
Bro, the only team that scored more than 19 was the Raiders.
It's supposed to be a closing.
Yeah, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be like 13-9, and y'all gonna lose.
Okay, well we'll see.
Hey, Darius, you got any?
Man, listen.
Go ahead, Sue.
We love y'all. Peace and elbow grease, man.
we out.
Play.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro.
Oh, they gonna lose that game.
You say that every week though. You say that every week. Okay.
Are they gonna
What's
lose?
your score?
It's in San Francisco.
Oh, bro, it could have been in Memphis. We don't care.
How much you? What's the score, D? What's the score prediction?
Score prediction for San
Sign
Francisco.
out on that.
San Francisco they had a bye this week. They got some time to get McCaffrey acclimated.
They did.
31-24 San Francisco.
All right, chat, we out.
We go.